Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
what's going on, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for my top, not 10, not 11, not 12, but top 13 most anticipated, must-reads, must-buys, graphic novels for the month of October of 2023. So let's go ahead and check out my list. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, just a small reminder to smash that like button, please. That is a very small thing you can do for us here on the channel, but it goes a long way. And if you're enjoying the content of this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Not sure why I'm pointing here. It's somewhere down here. That lets you know when our videos are going live. And we do have live videos every day, or videos going live every day. And a big thank you to our patrons. Could not be making videos like this possible without you all. So we are on Spreadshop and Patreon. The links are in the description of the video. And there's different tiers to our Patreons. Alright, 13 books. And this list was freaking hard because there's so much I wanted to add. And I kept going back, and I even cheated a little bit when I did the upcoming collected editions, sneaking 14 and 15 in there. And I still had to take some off. Oh my gosh. Alright, but we live with restrictions, and such is life. So let's go ahead and start with the week of October 3rd. And again, there could be some delays. I always like to remind people of that. And yes, Ghost Rider Danny Ketch Epic Collection was on there, and I had to take it off, man. What the hell? Why? It's my list. Why did I just do 15, 16? Anyway, October 3rd, I Kill Giants, the 15th anniversary. I didn't even know Joe Kelly and Ken Nimura were doing this. It's a trade paperback, but it's one that's not to be missed. It's been out of print for a long time on Kenny Omar Talk Pretty one day, but it's one that is just such a good and powerful read. Be prepared to cry your eyes out because, oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful story. This is an Eisner-nominated international, and it got a manga award too, even though it's not really a manga. It was published here in America. And you meet the little girl Barbara who hunts giants, but there's something else going on in her life. There's been a movie that's been based on this that Joe Kelly helped write. As a matter of fact, Joe Kelly tells the story of how he came up with this, and it's just a beautiful, heartbreaking, yet wonderful story. All 7 issues are collected in this particular collection, $19.99. And it looks like we do have a new cover there by Ken Nimura. We Only Find Them When They're Dead. This is by Al Ewing and Simone Di Meo. And this is one that I haven't read. This collects We Only Find Them When They're Dead, 1 through 15. I'm going in completely blind. Why am I putting it on the list? Because this is a must-read, and it's not just for you all. It's for me, too, to remind myself, hey, man, you gotta get this. This is published by Boom Studios, and it is the story of Captain Malik and the crew of the spaceship, the Vihan 2. And they're in search of the only resources that matter, which can only be found by harvesting the giant corpses of alien gods. Al Ewing, you know you're in for a crazy ride. So if you read this, no spoilers, but let me know where you would put this in the hierarchy of Al Ewing books. I've loved everything else he's done. Big fan of his writing, not just Immortal Hulk, but his Ultimates, his, oh my gosh, Defenders. I would love to see that series collected one day properly in a big format. But anyway, this is one. $49.99, again, containing all 15 issues. Yes, Captain Marvel, GENIS-VELL by Peter David Omnibus. Actually, my overview should come out on Monday. I finished recording it and it's edited. Anyway, you don't care about that. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Yes, this is the Captain Marvel that I loved. It was my return back to comics. And growing up, Monica Rambeau was my Captain Marvel. And then she went away, and she went away for a long time. It was like after Roger Stern left, Dwayne McDuffie was working on Milestone, like nobody was writing her character. It's almost like she disappeared into the nothing, which happens to some characters. When I came back to comics, I had heard about this, and I will be honest, the reason I read this was because there was a big thing, like a big argument between Peter David and Bill Jemas as to which titles will continue. What was it, Marvel Adventures or Adventureland? I can't even remember what it was called. It was going up against this. And I was like, Peter David, Captain Marvel, who is this? Then I found out it was Legacy, the character. Oh my gosh. And to have it all, and this brought back memories of enjoying Chris Cross's artwork. His art is so solid. Containing Captain Marvel, the 1999 series, 0 through 35, as well as the 2002, 1 through 25. This is a huge book. It's 1,400 pages, $150, and of course 2 covers. But it is my favorite Captain Marvel. It is so good. It's witty, it's smart, it's heartbreaking at times, and yes, this is another example of Peter David writing himself into the character of Rick Jones. And when you've read enough Peter David material, like his Hulk run, you know that Rick Jones is like a young Peter David. He's just a great character. I love his character. But of course I'm recommending that one. The week of October 17th, my goodness, we are jumping around, the Clamp Premium Collector's Edition of Tokyo Babylon. Now, this book has been printed before. It's been printed by Dark Horse Comics. It's been printed by Tokyo Pop. And now Yen Press is bringing this out in a complete premium collection. It looks to be a softcover just based on the price of $15. But this is the story of Subaru. It's the story of his twin sister, Hokoto, and Seishiro, and how they venture out and solve supernatural mysteries. This also leads into the story called X by Clamp that's been printed by Viz. I love this stuff. I'm a big fan of the Clamp ladies. Like anything they've done, Magic Knight Ray Earth, or Sakura, or Cardcaptor Sakura was so good. Tsubasa, Holic, the old school days of Archie Veda and Yuki-chan in Wonderland. Anyway, I'm not going to name them all. Clover, come on. But this is one of their older material, and I love this particular time of Clamp. The art, the storytelling, it's just perfect. And if you haven't read it, it's been out of print for a long time, and now finally coming back to print. I love when old manga comes back, baby. All the way, and I think the premium collections, the way this is being collected, was originally released in Japan. The Incal Kill Wolf Head hardcover. These books have been so good. They don't have the right to be that good. It's been amazing to see the Johto-verse just expand without Mobius, of course, and Johto given his blessings. But this is by Brandon Thomas, artwork by Pete Woods, who I love his art. And this is one that, it's a little bit different than the 2 that came before, because this one actually features a character that played a big part in the original Incal. So I haven't read it. I'm really curious about it, and I've been enjoying the other 2 volumes. So this is the 3rd volume in the Incal universe. And this is published by Humanoids. It is a hardcover for $24.99. And that very same week, we're getting Wasted Space, the Cosmic Collection hardcover. This is such an amazing book. I love this series. It reminded me of Heavy Metal Magazine. I've done an overview of it. You've seen it on my Hidden Gems. I've done a review of Volume 1. I was that excited to share just the story with people, and I didn't want it to go away. But it is by Michael Mureshi and Hayden Sherman. And I've done an overview of this book that's coming out already because it was a Kickstarter. I think it's just coming out as a hardcover, not a slipcase. This one is $79.99, but it contains all 5 volumes of the, some of them are out of print now, trade paperbacks. It's the story of Billy Bane and how he is a prophet and kind of gave up being a prophet. He ended up hanging out with his FUQ bot. I'm afraid if I say that, YouTube will demonetize this. His buddy Dust, and their adventures up in space when a new prophet comes claiming that she needs his help. So good. It's such an amazing ride. And Heavy Metal mixed with that liquid television flair of the early 90s, if you all are old enough to remember liquid television. The Nice House on the Lake, the deluxe edition. Of course, I'm recommending this one. This one's been on my radar for so long. Collecting all 12 issues of this maxi series. This is the James Tynion the Fourth and Alvaro Martino Bueno. This is a hardcover for $49.99. It has 424 pages. And I've read these in trade paperback. They are freaking excellent if you've not read it. If you're at all interested in horror or supernatural or just like to be spooked during this particular season, absolutely this. I think I ended up enjoying this more than Something is Killing the Children. Something is Killing the Children started off great, but it kind of went somewhere where I didn't expect it or like it to go. But this won all kinds of Eisner Awards. This got Best Writer 2023, Best Coloring by Jordi Belair, Best Continuing Series, Best Penciler, Inker, and it was a Best New Series in 2022. And this contains all 12 issues of The Nice House on the Lake with a new cover. And it is part of the DC Black Label line. Promised Neverland, the complete collection box set. All 20 volumes in this beautiful box set. And I know I've told this story many times on the channel, but I don't mind sharing it again. That when my daughter was 5 years old, I bought her Promised Neverland Volume 1 based on the cover alone. And she came up to me like an honest 5-year-old and said, "Poppy, I don't think I'm supposed to be reading this." And no, when I looked at the artwork, she is not. There's decapitated kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt like such a horrible parent. And it's funny because now she's 14 and she's read this. She read it a couple of years ago, but now we can relive those traumatic memories. Of reading these for the first time. So I'll be picking this up for sure. This one, all 20 volumes, $179.99. So it saves you about $30 or so. Moonshine, the complete collection hardcover. This is definitely on my must-buy list because I had the first trade. Actually, I bought the first two. For some reason, I didn't buy any more after that, and I kind of forgot to go back and read them. So I've only read the first volume. Brian Azzarello, Eduardo Rizzo, all 28 issues, $69.99. It is the crime noir series in one complete volume. And yeah, I can't wait to read this. While I didn't enjoy it as much, or at least the first volume as much as 100 Bullets, it was still solid. So I can't wait to finish it, and I hope it ends on a high note. Telos Saga. This is a hardcover. It's a reprint of the original issues that were done by Todd DeZago and the legendary and gone way too soon Mike Wieringo. And it's crazy to think about how long he's been gone and mortality and how his legacy will live on because of these wonderful creations. I think I'm old. Oh my gosh, I think I'm older than him now than when he passed away. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. So this is definitely the sword and sorcery type of story set in another world. And I think I've added this one to my hidden gems in the past if you're wanting to check that out and what it's about and check out the internal artwork. But I am recommending it for anybody that ever was curious about it and missed out on it in the past. Super Sons Omnibus Super Duper Edition. Come on. You knew I was going to recommend it, especially for those that have never had a chance to read it. Good on you. Or if you just started collecting Omnis this year, awesome. You're in luck because this crap happened. And I mean crap in a good way or bad way for our wallets. This book has been released. This is the third time, the third omnibus. And this is my third dipping into this because it's collecting the 7 issues that were not in the other edition, the Super Edition. But this is Super Sons Omnibus, the Super Duper Edition. And it contains the Super Sons 1 through 16, Super Sons Annual number 1, Super Sons Dynamite number 1, Superman 10 and 11, Superman 37 and 38, Teen Titans 15. And that's where the original Super Sons Omnibus ended. But then they added Super Sons Super Omnibus that added the Adventures of the Super Sons 1 through 12 that came out a couple of years ago. And I bought it again, and I gave one away to my buddy Bob. Passed away. Oh my goodness. And he passed away a couple of years ago. Cancer. I forgot I had sent that to him. He was big into the Silver Age stuff, and he was a big Conan guy, but I was like, oh, you gotta try that. He was like, oh, this new stuff sucks. Angry old man, I miss that bastard. Challenge of the Super Sons 1 through 7 are also collected in here. And that's what makes it a super duper edition. And a short story from the Robin 80th anniversary 100-page super spectacular #1. Peter Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, Carlo Barberi, Jorge Jimenez, 888 pages, $125. And according to Peter Tomasi, he promises this is the last time it's going to be printed. No mas. No mas. Monster size Hellboy. Oh my gosh. I hope I get an early look at this so I can share it, because people have been asking me, how big is this book? From the dimensions that I'm looking at, it looks to be the size of the Colossal Conan, so bigger than an omnibus. This is going to be a huge book. 1,512 pages, $149.99. It collects the Hellboy and Hell volumes 1 and 2, The Magician and the Snake. That's such an important story, especially if you read the Hellboy and Hell story, and The Exorcist of Vorsk. Wow. This is going to be a huge book. Conqueror Worm, Strange Places, Into the Silent Sea, The Right Hand of Doom. Yeah, I cannot wait. And I hope we get another volume. And then, of course, BPRD collected in some kind of big oversized format. It's that good. All right. And the last book I am suggesting for the month of October, Jonah and the Impossible Monsters Deluxe Edition. I first read Jonah and the Impossible Monsters. I think it made it in my top 10 reads of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I fell in love with it. This is by Chris Samney. And also Laura Samney, his wife, working on this book. They're writing it together. And then Chris Samney is doing the art with Laura Wilson, I believe, is the colorist. This story is so amazing. It reminds me of a Don Bluth cartoon. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Don Bluth, but a lot more vibrant colors. It's a beautiful story about Jonah and Rainbow, who are two sisters trying to find their family. They've been separated, and they're in this big monster world, and they don't know exactly what to trust, and Jonah just punches things. Oh, I love the first volume. So this collects issues 1 through 12 of the instant classic of all ages, and it is all ages, which makes it nice. So Matthew Wilson, by the way, is the colorist. I'm sorry, not Laura Wilson. And then the letterer is Crank. Sorry about that. This one is $44.99, and this one is due out on November 1st or October 31st, depending on where you get your books. And speaking of where you get your books, if you're interested in any of these, check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my top 13 most wanted, must-reads, must-buys, essential reads for the month of October of 2023. Let me know in the comments down below what you're excited to get. What from the list you didn't even know about that I brought to your attention. Or, yeah, let me know what your top 13, top 20. You don't have to follow my 13 rule. You can put 15, 20 books, whatever you want down there. But that's it, everyone. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.